As we approach the day that honors your father, what are the feelings that arise as we get closer to that time?
Unfortunately, I'm wired to be task oriented first.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I kind of spend the day going through the motions I have to go through, and I'm not always in tune with what's happening in my feelings during that time period. Because I think if I did that, it would probably hinder my ability to be effective, because it's still hard. I mean, you got to realize, I told somebody the other day, we really haven't been able to, quote unquote, bury our parents. I mean, I work at the institution where they are entombed in a crypt, a side-by-side crypt. And so it's right there with you, on a daily basis. They're very much alive, because people continue to refer to my dad constantly, in just about almost every issue in the universe. And so, I just try to keep all of my energy and attention to focus.
Next year marks the 60th anniversary of your father's "I Have a Dream" speech. How do you plan How do you plan on celebrating? And how do you continue your father's legacy?
I haven't even thought about that, because that next year I turned 60 myself. So, wow, it's that close. I don't know what that celebration will look like. I'll have to think about that. But, I see my role and responsibility is to bring to fruition some of the things that he spoke about. For instance, in 1964, when he received the Nobel Peace Prize, he talked about the philosophy and strategy of nonviolence immediately. He suggested that it immediately become a subject of study and serious experimentation in every field of human conflict, by no means excluding nations. And we at the King Center now have an opportunity to help the process of manifesting those words through our new e-learning Nonviolence 365 online experience.
You talk about how he affected so many people in so many places around the world. And I think of Barack Obama's inauguration and watching Barack Obama sitting on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, listening to a band from Ireland, U2, sing a song about your father. And that moment, and it probably is one of my favorite moments of E.T., but it speaks to the worldwide reach of what your father did and what he meant, and also how it has permeated the entertainment business. Do you have a moment, a thing that you love to watch, a portrayal of your father, or a song that is your favorite?
That's God. I mean, that's so hard, because when you go on YouTube, it's not like he has this one thing that's just it. A lot of his stuff is like
everything. We have seen so many different actors portray your father. And do you have a favorite actor? I think back all the way to Paul Winfield.
Paul Winfield, yeah.
Paul Winfield. And people talk about David Oyelowo now, but do you have a favorite?
Playing Dr. King has to be kind of eerie. I can't even imagine. I wouldn't want to be in those person's shoes, because it's, when they're good actors, they learn the character. I mean, when you start talking about learning Dr. King, you're taking on some moral weight into your life. It's pretty serious.
What did you think of David Oyelowo's performance in Selma?
I think he did an exceptional job. Coming from the UK, it always amazes me how they can change their voice like that. And so, I think he did an exceptional job.
That means protest. That means march. That means disturb the peace. That means jail. That means risk. And that is hard. We will not wait any longer. Give us the vote.
What did you think of when you saw the Selma cast and Oprah and so many people walking across the Edmund Pettus Bridge, when you saw that cast and everyone walking across and recreating those steps?
For me, it was just an important moment for our time, because it's so long ago. And just bringing that to life today and making it real for people, I think was what really touched me.
What did it mean for your father to have the support of folks like Harry Belafonte and
Sidney Poitier.
Sidney Poitier that were there to help, really help him when he needed financial assistance? What did that mean?
And it was a burden lifter. I mean, when my father decided to go to jail, for instance, in Birmingham, everybody was concerned and counseling him, not to go because, you're the face, you're the leader, you're the one that can get out there and help raise money to give people, the bail money to get people out of jail. And, he had the faith and belief that something would happen. He ended up being locked up, solitary confinement. That's where he wrote the famous letter from the Birmingham jail. Yes. But it was Harry Belafonte and others that he, solicited where the funds came through.
Next month marks the 20th anniversary of the Rosa Parks story. What did you think of your brother taking the role in that story?
You talking about when Dexter played?
Yeah, when Dexter.
Ladies and gentlemen, the heroine of our finest hour, Mrs. Rosa Parks.
Well, that was funny to me. I just say that. It was funny to me.
Really?
Yeah. It had to be hard, too. I never had that conversation with him, but it had to be hard because...
Also, he didn't come to y'all and say, hey, I'm going to play daddy.
No, but I'm saying, I was younger. So it just, where I am today, I tend to want to ask more questions.
Right. All right.
And I just want, what is it really like? Because he looks like our father. He's the one that really looks like him, spitting image.
We recently lost Sidney Poitier, and your father said this about him in 1967. He is a man of great depth, a man of great social concern, a man who is dedicated to human rights and freedom. What did you think he meant?
I think he was talking about a man of integrity who saw his role in the industry not just as an actor, but as an influencer and an inspirer. He took each one of those roles he played was very significant to the unfolding story of our community. And so, I think he was tapping into that and acknowledging it. So, he's missed, certainly, and will be missed. Actors like that, I won't say they're once in a lifetime, but they're rare.
Yes.
We thank God for what he opened up so many doors for so many people.
Yep.
And he did it with such dignity and grace. And, he did not let anything stop him, in spite of the conditions.
Black History Month is coming up. And I feel like Black history should be celebrated every day because it's American history. But
right.
How do you celebrate Black History Month? And how should we as a nation look at Black history?
Most times I get invited to a lot of different places to speak. And I try not to confine my energy to it being Black History Month. I'm aware of it. It's because for me, it's what you said. It's all year round. Yeah, and I always say that to people. Don't confine me to a Black history time period to come and give us. What I can say is relevant in March, April, May, June, July, the rest of the year. And so, we have a lot of work to do, and all of the efforts now that I'm concerned about under the banner, of CRT, is extremely troubling. And I think we are sleeping on it, not paying enough attention to it. And we got to start paying attention.
Bernice, this is Entertainment Tonight. So I got to ask you, is there a favorite movie? Can you go back and think of a favorite movie that your father was portrayed in? Selma was good.
I was on the set of the one King, the one that Paul Winfield and Cicely
You were
Tyson
there.
did. Yeah, I was on the set because my sister played Rosa Parks.
What do you remember about being on the set, though, of King?
Wow, God, it's kind of hard for me to recall all of it. I had something being on the set that may not be You know, I was young.
Right.
So I'm gonna tell this story. So one night, me and my sister went into the production room, and you know, they had a lot of stuff in their refrigerator and everything. And I used to watch everybody on the set, you know, and I can be honest about this, predominantly white men at the time. They would go into the refrigerator and they, you know, they would get this beer and they would just drink it. So I decided while we were in the production room that night, I'm gonna go in the refrigerator. Let's see what this beer is about. I just popped it like I was getting ready to drink a Coca-Cola. I drank it. I said, I couldn't take it. Now that may not be the best memory, but that sticks with me to this day on that set. But I was honored to be there to witness Cicely. Oh my God, may she rest in peace, and Paul Winfield, both of them,
Yes.
you know, played my parents. But I have something I want to share with you. I'm still, so we're talking about entertainment. I'm still learning. I don't have a song to play, but I have a little, you know.
A harmonica.
So that's for your entertainment tonight.